International Conference on Accounting and Finance.
Very good morning and day ahead to all of you. First of all, I would like to thank TIIKM for choosing me as the conference chair of this conference. In fact, this TIIKM became very popular among academics of various fields within Sri Lanka as well as within Asia and rest of the countries as conference organizers. They have already conducted number of successful conferences in various fields, especially social sciences, marketing, humanities, such as various other conferences. So that this time it is the conference of accounting and finance. So that what is the specialty with TIIKM? They are good at networking. So they have time when in the academia, when we try to organize conferences, we are busy with various other work, teaching, research and all that. Top of that, when you try to organize conferences, maybe a lot of mishaps. But the TIIKM is a committed place to organize conferences. They give due attention to all the details. So therefore, I observed that as a professional conference organization body, they are getting recognition within the country and within the region. So that you all are from the field of accounting and finance. Therefore, I do not need to tell the importance of the conference of this nature. But these two subjects, accounting and finance, let me say that now we are getting, these two fields are getting their due recognitions in all over the world. But if you take like half a century ago, still these subjects were taught that even in UK, the accounting was not considered as an academic discipline. So it was taught in technical colleges and places like that. So then there were professional institutions and all that. But in the academia, maybe the mainstream academia, the accounting was not considered that serious academic discipline. When it comes to finance, maybe the accounting tradition basically developed within Europe, especially in UK. But when it comes to finance, most of the traditions developed in USA. So that is, but later on, with the changes taking place in the world of business and the economy, so that if you most of the contribution to the economy is today the service sector contribute the a huge amount of the economic output. So with that, the importance of, and also knowledge of business and commercial activities became the centerpiece of economic development. With that, the countries could not keep the accounting and finance away from the mainstream work. So as a result of that, because the demand driven from the society, created a space in the university academia for the accounting and finance field. Today, these two fields are developed so much. In the universities, if you take that in terms of if you take general business education, even in the universities, that contribute a lot to the university itself, because in terms of academic programs, the success of academic program, most of the universities run successful academic program, economically viable academic program in the field of business. But they are accounting and finance as a must in these fields. So therefore, sometimes there is a little jealousy among the various other academic departments, maybe the liberal arts, maybe humanities, a little bit jealousy towards the business education departments or the field management, or for that matter, accounting and finance, because the demand is growing for these fields with the changes taking place in the economy. So that in this context, therefore, also that this is in the academia, there is a huge development, as well as there is a professional. So there is sometimes there is a competition between professionals and the academic. Sometimes professionals try to feel that this academics accounting is that is something not important, but they try to give that prominence to the professions. But if you take the profession itself, the profession take the theories, developments, all these things in the what is we do in the academia, in the universities and research institute. So that takes times and get into the textbooks later as theories and all that. So that will come to the professional program later. Today what we do here will be reflected in years' time in professional bodies. So therefore there is a link, but there is a competition as well. But always accountants are very, very important. They are in the society, they play a greater role. So that in their role, when the role that they play has to be shaped up by academic research. Academic research contribute maybe that not today what you do tomorrow won't be reflecting in the professions, but still in the long run. So academia has a responsibility, because you are not academia is not in a way that motivated towards some pretty gain in the short run. So but in the maybe the business world you can't do that. They are more interested in profits. There's a story like that. Two accountants go into a bar to have a drink in the evening. So that then all of a sudden some armed robbers burst into the bar. So that the robbers line up all the people in the bar and get their wallet ready and everything. They were lined up. Then two friends, those who are together, two accountants, so that the one accountant owed some money to the other man. He said, okay, that I have to pay you $1,000. Now I will pay you that. So that's the accountants are so sharp, so that otherwise what would happen? Because all the money will be collected by the thieves within minutes. So because that he is going to pay that from his pocket today itself, so that all the money will be in the thieves' hand within few minutes. So the accountants find the right time to make the payments and collect the money. So the accountants are so smart doing that. But sometimes they forget about ethics and all that. So therefore, the academics to help the accountants and the professions. When it comes to finance, finance is more like finance lies in mostly drawing, from economics theories, sometimes mathematics. Finance has a different tradition. So that also there is a competition between these two fields, accounting and finance. Accounting and finance, some people try to say, I was in Manchester Department of Accounting and Finance. These two guys, those academics in the accounting and finance, what the hell you are doing? What you are talking about? Some accountants, people who's doing, accounting research, they are going into the social sciences. They are drawing from social sciences, and they do talk about behavioral things and other things. For the finance people, these are some rubbish. So they don't want to recognize that as. But these are two traditions. Like now case studies, if you take, the They borrow from a lot of social sciences, and they try to write up case studies based research, drawing from that, especially the accounting traditions going into those directions as well. I would say that because in either accounting or finance, you have to practice at the end of the day in the society. Society matters, traditions and all that. Whether what you insisted from the center, whether it's work in the field, is you have to check. So therefore, sometimes what recommended by the World Bank, what recommended by the international accounting bodies would not work in your society due to some other reason. Therefore, sometimes the people like Trevor Hopper and all that try to understand the social dynamics within this field. So therefore, that has gone into that extent. So, but in the finance people, they are, within the finance also, some people are into more economics and more quantitative studies. Still, some people try to recognize the importance of the behavioral aspect of that subject as well. So that again, even I tried to submit a paper maybe about 10 years ago to the Journal of Finance. At that time, 2 reviewers all were happy with my paper, but I can't remember the name of the editor. Editor was not happy with the paper because he is representing a different schools of thought. So that you should not listen only to me. That these reviewers are happier that I give separate comments, and next time when you review the paper, I will send it to different set of people to see this paper. So that's the that's the conflict between the within finance also there are conflicts like the school of thoughts, but still there is a time that we have to get everything together to we all that ultimately it will be ending up in the society. How society looked at us, what is our role, what is the importance to the society, what we do at the end of the day, we have to, that is the bottom line, I think. In fact, when it comes to the debates of accounting and finance, especially that earlier researchers, maybe these two fields, followed 2 different traditions. But in 1960s, in fact 1968, Ball and Brown, and 1968, Beaver, these people try to understand the relationship between these 2 subjects, 2 disciplines. So that is where there is a tradition now developing between that, association studies between these 2 subject disciplines. When you get the event studies in finance, that's most of the event studies, are a combination of kind of accounting and the finance. So therefore, accounting, what they do, the information role, very important for the financial decision. The finance, or at the end of the day, the investors' decision making and all that. So their response and all that is very important. So therefore, there are the conflicts. I don't think that conflicts are not too bad, but conflicts also good. When there is a conflict, you work hard, you try to prove your point. So that is important for the development of the subject. And also we had to, at the end of the day, we had to understand the association between these subjects. So that is, in that respect, this organization, this TIIKM, is putting these 2 subjects together. When it comes to Sri Lanka also, now at the time when I joined the college, so that we were not having departments of accounting or departments of finance in our universities. We had just generic department. We offering generic degree programs, that is maybe B.Com or BBA. For that matter, I did Bachelor of Business Administration degree. But we didn't have in we had a very common department, and also that was with, as I mentioned earlier, with a lot of struggle that they started that Bachelor of Business Administration degree program, University of Sri Javardhanapura. So, but that time it was a very generic program. Everything was together, accounting, finance, and everything. Now in Sri Lanka, I could see the 1990s basically that earlier it was the tradition in Sri Lanka to have one department for one single degree program, that is Bachelor of Business Administration program, one department. Bachelor of public administration, one department, maybe P.S.M, another department, like that. So, but that is now we are moving away from that. We understand the importance of each and every discipline within the subject. Like medicine, medicine is a degree which, medicine is a applied science, so that it contributes a lot of other disciplines to the medicine degree. So medical faculties are having about 16, 14 departments representing different disciplines. Like now in our universities in Sri Lanka, we are also having accounting separate department, finance separate department, maybe marketing another department, HRM department, so that we have separate specialized degrees, as well as also we produce graduates with maybe just general approach like Bachelor of Business Administration degrees, while providing specialized graduates. So that is where we have to, maybe to what extent we should specialize this subject, to what extent we go, I think in the academia we have to control. But we have to always respond to the needs of the society, In that respect, maybe today's the research list, I think they are going to be deliberation over different aspects of accounting and finance, and so that maybe through some of these presentations we can understand how the subject matter is developed, to what extent the subject matter is developed in the different contexts, because the commerce and business traditions are new to some countries. So some countries are very open from the beginning, and some countries like Sri Lanka, we try to change our economic policy agenda from time to time, so that maybe we have centrally controlled economic policies adopted a particular time period in this country, and also very open liberal economic policies adopted. Like 1950s we were liberal country, so like 60s, 70s we were centrally controlled economic policies, but 70s onward, at the end of the 70s, maybe exactly to be exact 1977, the more more serious action were taken to liberalize economy. So that with the liberal economic policies adopted, but also now political parties also understanding the importance of liberal economic policies, so that there is a convergence of even the thinking of political parties in Sri Lanka. I think these things are happening in other part of the rest of the Asia also. Even if you take India also like centrally controlled policies they try to adopt at a period. But maybe in 1990s they also try to adopt the more open policies. Centrally controlled economies also adopting now more open policies. I could remember one of my friends who was in MBA class with me in early 1980s saying that he was a consultant to the People's Republic of China. So when the People's Republic of China is getting converted to the open economy, so that he was heading a bank in Sri Lanka. He was picked by the Asian Development Bank and give a consultancy to the People's Republic of China. What was the job? That he said that this Chinese bankers and all that, they don't know even double entry accounting at that time. So that's his job, is to make them understood about this double entry accounting and all that. So now China, you can see today, I can see in the academia, there are a lot of development, even accounting and finance papers, number of papers, and there are good business schools developing in China. So that is how this field is getting more and more recognition everywhere right now. Therefore, with these changes, that it is the responsibility of us, so that academia, to do something positively to contribute to the upliftment of all these economies and lives of the people. So the finance has a greater potential, accounting has a greater potential in this respect, because it's a man who is not following even basic principles of accounting and finance. At the end of the day, I always in my finance class I say that it's not the importance that how much you earn today, but it's important is how much you save. The man who earn maybe over 1 million today is spent 1 million, maybe at the end of the day he will be poorer than you who earn even 1/4 of that and save, and the effect of compounding will take you to a place where you are not known sometimes. So therefore, some simple principles is very important even in our private life.